the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 170, and we are here with my friend Jeff Giagnocavo, co-owner of Gardner's Mattress and More, founder of the Retailer Toolkit, and he is involved in numerous businesses. So you want to talk about someone who founds, develops businesses. This is your guy. And if you want to learn how to help more people and make more money, that's what we're going to be talking about in just a minute or two. Let me pay the bills really, really quickly. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? Over 101 tips for furniture and mattress stores to sell another million. The best review I ever got was from my friend, Doug Stewart. Take the word furniture and mattress out of the book, and it's just a great marketing book. And that's what it sets out to do. But me being a salesperson, it bleeds sales all the way through it, despite being primarily a marketing book. And you will see Jeff Giagnocavo's footprints, fingerprints, everything prints all over this, because he was the original model that I used to create a better sleep shop. So I got to pay more bills. Chris, who do we have up next? The Mattress Industry Network Group. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Steve, for sponsoring the show. Over 2,500 people strong. Join this free network group. I wouldn't be in this group if it wasn't for Jeff Giagnocavo. Long story, I'll tell it some other time. But hit that QR code if you want to help build, market, and succeed in the mattress business. Hit that QR code. I will catch you on the flip side in the group. I check in a couple times a week. Over 2,500 people strong. It doesn't matter if you own your own store, if you're a salesperson on the floor. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you here. We have owners of manufacturers in here. We have VPs of sales. We have sales reps. Everybody's in here. It's one big happy family with one goal: to help each other get better. So join us with that. And one other quick announcement. Thank you for Bed Industries of America for sponsoring this episode. And we are going very soon, in just over a week, 10 days, not even 10 days, 9 days. Meet us at the Delta Detroit Metro Airport Hotel. It's right there in Romulus, right next to the airport, on Wednesday, May 8th and Thursday, May 9th. My friend Enzo Mastriani does not participate in Facebook, so I am doing the promoting for his open house. He is my teammate and helped me immensely at our event that Jeff took part in, and we were very happy with how that turned out. If you are in the mattress business, you're in Michigan, Indiana, even Ohio, Illinois, you want to swing by the Michigan open house, say hi, and see what's new in the mattress business. Without further ado, let me introduce my friend and guest, Jeff Giagnocavo, who started off at two guys in Florida. We were at a Dan Kennedy event, and we were both there to learn. What I didn't know is Jeff was up on the stage earlier, and I was such a newbie, I didn't even catch it. But that's when we started our relationship, and it's been a good one. It's
been a long journey.
It's been a while, brother. It's been a while. And no one does more for me and my business and helps my dealers more than Jeff Giagnocavo. So if you own a mattress store or a furniture store who's serious about retail and mattresses, you are at the right place at the right time with Jeff. So Jeff, how are we going to help more people today?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought, helping more people isn't always about money, right? It's not always about making money. On our community podcast show, we highlight a lot of charities, and we ask our community to help those charities out. Obviously, donations are great, money, but so is treasure. I'm sorry, so is talent. So if you have talents to give this world, you can help people that way. And if you have time, just putting in the man hours, you can help people um, out in this world. And one little anecdote that actually rings true to this happened recently in my personal life. I was sitting at a local school board meeting, and I saw a wonderful team of high school seniors and juniors present the wrap up of their year long plus campaign to raise nearly $100,000. And I was so impressed with what they've done, the commitment that they'd had. If you think about teenagers and even adults today, right, we all want instant gratification. So to watch a group of young adults commit to something months in advance before they had the leadership baton put in their hand, that's what made me say, I'm going to write the check. We're not going to have the placard to say 100 grand, but I'm going to write the check privately. And I can at least tell this team of 35 kids, you did it. And I share that not for a pat on the back. I share it because here's what happened thereafter. One of the kids, their parent, has a business locally who can support another endeavor that I have, and that's our Career Center Education Foundation that I'm recently on the board of. And we got to talking, and there's going to be very likely some wonderful things happening there. Another parent really kind of had, I guess, a misconception about me and what I do and what I stand for. And we had a great dialogue, and there'll be another great connection made from that, and it'll spiral. Since that time, I brought on another coaching client that just kind of came out of the blue. We've had personally some other great things happen in our home, and I all tie it to that perpetuation of finding unique ways to help people, because money has its own mojo, and it responds to hard work. It responds to intentionality. Money responds to the game you're playing. If you're playing a high level game, money will recognize it. When I say money, I'm kind of talking about money like a person. Money has its own motives. It has its own habits. Money isn't passive. I just spoke to another group last week about that. Like this was a group of younger hustlers, and they were talking about passive income. I said, I want to dispel that myth right now. Passive income doesn't really exist. Yes, there are ways to have your money make you money, but I guarantee you, any real estate person who says they have passive income, what they're not telling you is the 3 a.m. phone calls where the toilet exploded. They don't talk about, there's nothing passive about being a landlord taking that phone call. Or if you have a big thing, waking up in the morning and you have a big portfolio of a management company, and your weekly morning rundown is, we got 7 toilets that blew up. We had a fight in one building where a bullet went through the wall and hit somebody else in the other. We had a roof get ripped off. We had a tornado take out, God bless and take care of the people in Oklahoma right now that are living with tornadoes. That was very scary stuff. But there ain't nothing passive about what I just laid out. Nothing at all. Yes, they make money. Yes, the checks show up in the mailbox. But there is a ton of work and intentionality behind those efforts. And when we get very intentional about helping more people, more opportunity and more money comes our way.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And I have to tell you, we didn't rehearse this, so he doesn't know I'm doing this. This book is a game changer. Anybody who's in leadership, anybody who hasn't read this book needs to read this book. It's something that Jeff put together. He took some risks, bared his soul, and made me cry, which is easy to do. Anybody who knows me knows I bawl a couple times a day. So it's not that hard to do. But Jeff, intentional is the one word that when I look at you, I see. I mean, I've told you the story, and I know it kind of embarrasses you, but I wanted to have more of a conversation with you, learn more about you and your business after I met you at Dan Kennedy's event in Florida.
Right.
And so after the end, I I finally was scanning the whole place out in the courtyard, like outside the event, and I saw you, and you were writing, and you had like smoke coming off of your head, dude.
Yep.
And it was like, I know that feeling, because my joke with Jenny is I could literally have 3 to 4, even 5 secretaries, like very capable people who know shorthand. And I could, when my mind goes, I could keep them
Yeah.
all busy all at once. And they would be going nonstop. And I knew exactly what you were going through. So I did not want to interrupt that flow. But one of the things that I
Well,
constantly see with you is a focus and an intentionality that is almost superhuman. I mean, I don't know if you will understand this, but your ability to focus is one of your superpowers.
yeah.
And I mean, you do it better than anyone. Me, I'm a it's that ping pong starts going around in my head. It's like, oh my Lord, where is it going to stop? You know?
Yeah.
So give
Well,
me
and
coach me up. How do I get better at being more like you?
well, I mean, a couple things. So first of all, what I've come to realize about that level of focus is, and I've never said this to you, but if I made you feel like you were bothering me or I was put out,
No.
I do apologize for that. I've come to realize that that focus, I get so, I guess, tunnel visioned on the goal, on the moment, where I look past the opportunity to connect with people. And I've come to realize that. And it's something I'm working on very actively as of late. And, again, going back to donating locally and talking with those people, um, I've come to welcome those interruptions in my day because I've recognized them for what they are. It's a perpetuation of me helping. Like, I'm always happy to just write the check, move on, and let's go. Like we do a lot of that here in the store. The stuff that we do, the give that back that we do through Lancaster Connects, a lot of it goes unseen, undiscussed, but it happens. And I've probably missed connecting with people there. And again, if we're truly going to help people, we got to let them know that we care about them and we do want to see them succeed. And sometimes just writing that check isn't enough. Sometimes it is just a recognition of their efforts and a recognition of how unique they are. Again, I appreciate your comments about focus is a superpower, and yeah, I would say it's more the ability to discern what is and isn't additive to any of the goals of the day. That's really where I feel I can cut through pretty quick. And that is focus, I guess, as well. So I appreciate those kind words. I do.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on a guilt trip, brother. We're fine.
That's all right.
So here's the thing. I mean, I think we kind of recognized a lot of common themes in our personalities together, and that's kind of what kind of drew us together. Because I mean, I drove 6 hours to see you,
Right.
and so us connecting was going to happen anyway. But what I recognized is, I go, oh my, something special is happening right here. And what I would have loved, I would have loved to have been invisible. I would have loved to perch right up on your shoulder and see what you were doing, because it was probably really, really interesting. So I've been there, and that's why I just like, man, as much as I want to really kind of meet this guy more, hey, I knew your name, I knew your store, I knew where to find you, and I knew that there was a kinship almost immediately that we were going to get together. So let's move on.
Well, and You said you didn't mean to put me on the spot. I put myself on the spot. And in the book, I talk about that vulnerability. You know, I don't view myself as perfect. Certainly, I know I make mistakes often. I just talked with Ben about it earlier today as we navigated a new customer issue that popped up over Sunday into today. And you know, I said, this is simple. It may sound emotional, it may sound emphatic, but it's what is my proposed resolution for this customer is truly meant to help them. If we can be a part of helping them, fantastic. But if we can't, I'm okay with that. The thing that I can best do to help this customer is to just have them understand they have to be as committed to this purchase as we are, or any other seller, but they're seemingly very indifferent to it. And
Who dat?
so they have to just make a choice. And I help them make that choice today.
Did you miss Chris?
Oh, Chris, yeah, flash it up on the screen. Yeah.
He knows he shouldn't do this because he knows I'm going to go squirrel, squirrel.
Yeah. Well,
here's our buddy Matthew.
I mean, here's a perfect example. You know, Chris brought me to tears when I launched the book Space for Leadership back in August of last year of 23. He mentioned, I think the day before, hey, I got something for you. And I'd been collecting these photos for my promotional efforts, but Chris took the time, didn't have to do it at all. It's not part of our agreement when he produces my show, but took the time to put this together. And man, what a great video to kick off. And, you know, he never asked for it. I think you do it, Pete. We do it on both shows here at Lancaster Connects, my show, Big Ticket Life. I can't help but refer Chris. When I hear somebody looking to do a podcast, like we have somebody coming on the show at Lancaster Connects later in the year, and an attorney group, but not your usual attorneys that have a heart, which like might be the only ones out there. They said, oh yeah, I saw your tech checklist. It's fantastic. We actually have some of that stuff. We're looking to do our own show. I said, well, you're already kind of connected to my guy, Chris, but you ought to reach out, because here's where you'll fail with a podcast, where most fail with a podcast. And that's, they get started, they love it, but it's really hard to sustain. It's work on top of the work you're already doing. So if you want help with that, Chris is the guy to go to. And his email is already in that packet. Or if you want, I can make a formal intro. Like when you really help people, things like that can't help but happen. Now, you might not always hear it, but they are happening. And if the intention is to truly help, a lot of great things happen without you knowing.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why I've been with Chris as long as I have, and why you have too, with 2 shows, not 1. As a matter of fact, he was happy to get me, but he got you through me. So I guess the one that comes through you next will be like 3 shows a week.
Yeah, like it would be 4. And then,
oh, that's right.
Right. It's I forget the algorithm or the equation, but like it's doubles every day. Right.
I do want to move on, but I do not want to miss giving Chris his props. Listen, I get asked this question all the time, guys and gals. How much time do you spend on your podcast? 1 hour a week. 1 hour a week. I come in here, I do my thing. I don't worry about it any other time. Ask Chris, he'll testify. And I mean, he does all the work. I mean, it is the best money that I spend, because I am not good at this stuff. My first 35 episodes on another branded podcast that I did, it took me 20 to 30 hours a week. I don't have that kind of time. I don't have that time. This takes me an hour. So much better. So this is what I would say. Unless you're like dirt poor, you need to just hire a producer from the get-go. And Chris would be my recommendation to you. So enough of Chris. By the way, Chris, please pull up.
That's enough. That's enough for now, Chris, right?
That's enough.
He got his commercial.
I'm trying to stop myself from doing more of a commercial. Do you understand the nuttiness of this? But Chris, put your contact information up. Anybody that wants to reach out to Chris, the name of his company is Cast Ahead. It's a great group of people. Thank you, Chris. And now I'm going to try to control myself and stop. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Only on the Pete Primeau show does the squirrel go this wild. Anybody who has got any questions, hop in. I want to go back in time just a few weeks ago, Jeff.
Mhm.
And, when you organize an open house, you remember your days as a rep. It's a big deal. There's a lot of time and effort put into it.
Yep.
And there's a lot of pressure because the company's spending a lot of money to put it on. And I had some great speakers along with you. And I was just overjoyed at the reception that the retailer toolkit got. And I was wondering if you would just tell us a little bit that you can about the retailer toolkit. I've been hearing some unbelievable things from dealers that were like, they literally thought they knew it all. And on the very first session with you, they learned so much and they realized that the game had passed them by and that they really need to start working very hard to catch up to what retailing is today, which is different than 30 years ago, 20
Yep.
years ago, 10 years ago, and even 5 years ago. It's just all changed so fast. And you've been on the cusp, on the cutting edge of that and managed somehow to stay in front of it. So I just asked you 3 or 4 questions at once, and I'm good for that.
That's good.
Pick
Good.
one and answer it.
It keeps the conversation flowing, right? Worst thing you can have a podcast is both people like staring back at each other or dead space on the microphone. And I don't think you ever have that problem. So that's good.
No,
That's good.
no worries there.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I've been helping the industry with coaching and guidance in expanding my knowledge, marketing base that I invest in since 2012. So I guess we're officially 12 years coming up here this year at some point. I mean, listen, I have a passion for creativity in business, creating an exceptional experience. And our industry has struggled a little bit with that experience factor. And that's where my marketing knowledge has been focused. That's what I really gravitate to. Probably in Florida, when you saw me writing furiously, smoke coming off my head, it was likely something around the experience that I was creating or tweaking or implementing. And that's what drives our business. I mean, if we can't make it an experience, we ought to try and really make it happen, like get the throughput in place. We've made an experience out of foot protectors, for crying out loud. This is a little machine that like, you put your feet in it. The customers rave about it. Passing through my knowledge that the goal of that foot machine, the goal of the battery operated vacuum, the goal of the gifts in the mail, the goal of something leaving in the customer's hand when they buy instead of a paper receipt that has a $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 number attached to it, is all about the experience. It's all about elevating the business. It's all about creating raving fans. The day of getting a 5-star review is over because we've got a lot of companies working real hard to game that system. If we can create customers, and I can help people create customers that become true promoters, true raving fans, to the point where they would rather say, I got a really great mattress, but let me tell you about the way these folks took care of my home, the nice gift they gave me at the point of sale, the gifts that showed up after, the phone call that happened 2 weeks after my delivery, the communication, the tasteful, respectful communication that happened, on and on and on. If I can share all of that into our industry becomes a better industry. because the customer perception of our industry isn't great. And we all equally have to fight that. I did a refund this morning, $5,900, because somebody, well, I'll just say it, some jackwagon has decided that experience doesn't matter, that putting customers who give them their hard-earned money, the only thing that matters is the one night stand action in that, and that's to take the money and make a sale and just be transactional, like they're 7-Eleven selling a Snickers bar. That's not the kind of business I want at all. That's not the kind of experience I want our industry to perpetuate. And that's not what I want for people that get into my world and my ecosystem. And so Mattress Retailer Toolkit really is about translating my knowledge into your lap. When I can give you things you can deploy, it happens. And when we can talk and you can bring questions, it's powerful. And that's the kind of conversations we're already having. And we've really not even, I guess we've officially launched because we had our first training last week, but we haven't even really officially launched this thing. We've not spent $1 of advertising in it. We've spent some time. We've made some social media posts. I'm here now talking about it, but like, we are going to change things. My purpose is to impact people's lives so we have a better community through better sleep. It is the third leg of a life well lived, of a healthy, happy life well lived. You got diet, you got exercise, you got sleep. And we need to understand the power of our purpose to help people. And so I do get intentional. I do get focused. I do get emphatic because I understand the position we're in to help people. And I want others to help their people, their communities. Call it rose-colored glasses, but we have a tremendous opportunity to help our world. I just learned one of the kids on our football team, he was playing baseball when this happened. He fell asleep after high school driving to practice. Fell asleep. Now I know our football players, they're up and in the gym at 6:30, 7 o'clock, depending on the day. They're at school all day, and then they have other extracurriculars at night. My son has track. This young man happened to have baseball. Fell asleep behind the wheel, head-on collision. He's okay. Everybody's all right, thank God. But you know what I said to myself? I learned of that last night in the grocery store from another parent. And I said to myself, my ad that's going to go in our football program isn't just going to be a display ad. It's going to be an ad about helping kids get better sleep. And I've already got the mechanism to do that with our sleep hacks quiz. And there's a lot of ways you as a retailer can help people and have that point to an eventual sale. Maybe not today, but are you in business for just today and tomorrow? Or are you in business for a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Likely your legal obligations say that. Your lease is 5 years. So make 5-year actions, make 10-year actions. You got young kids in school yet, and you want to give them a stable upbringing, be in the same school, and they got 9 more years till they graduate? Make 9-year decisions and actions in your business today. Do stuff today that cements a relationship with your community for the next 9 years, not just the next sale.
This sleep deprivation thing is huge. I am so glad that the young man's okay. I'm sure the car's not great, but hey, cars can be replaced.
This is why you have, things replace, people can't, right?
Yep. You know, 2 other people that come to mind. Karen Converse has been out there talking about sleep deprivation.
It's fantastic.
And so has our friend Chris Tahaney, the senior vice president of sales at DreamFit, does a great job talking about constantly on Facebook and LinkedIn. Great question. Thank you, Guy. Guy Danes from South Africa. Jeff, does your sales team get referrals from clients? Boy, is this a setup question? Did he pay? Hey, did he pay you money to ask this question, dude? No. This is a setup question.
We do. A lot of our business is repeat and referral. I would venture to say about six out of 10 of our sales are repeat or referral business. It's in our scripting when we greet people. Tell me how you found our store. How did you learn about us? Was it our reviews or were you referred? And this way we know right out of the gate who we're talking to. Because ultimately, if we have somebody that was neither, we have to do some resetting of how we present this product and how our competitors present it. So yeah, Guy, thank you. We do get referral business. It's quite a bit. And look, we love on our customers. I said we don't one night stand our people. You know, the fact that we call people 2 to 3 weeks after delivery really mystifies folks. And again, if you're here to help and you're here to have a successful business, I'm not sure why that would mystify people. If you're so afraid to call people after the sale and it's been in the home for a few weeks, I think it's a real time for a gut check to say what you're doing. That's that I'm selling for today and next week thing and not 9 years thing, because that's when my lease ends, or that's when I plan to move out of town because my kids have grown up. You know, make those long tenured decisions today, build business value for the future today. It's so important.
So, Guy, my friend here is being falsely modest, so I'm going to
Falsely modest.
I'm going to fill in and give a little bit of color. There's probably not a retailer in the world that does a better job of going after the referral business, both in their sales scripting from the time that they greet a customer to the time they close a customer, to the thank you that they send, the follow-ups that they send, the nurture campaign towards the referral if they haven't already obtained it, the delivery experience where there's actually a scripted procedure with the delivery driver. The delivery driver is coached to allow the customer time to fill it out there if they want to and hand
Yep.
it back to them. It is probably one of the most awe-inspiring things that I've seen collectively. And Jeff owns it, so I'm not going to say another word, but there's 3 or 4, 5-ish other components to this. It is multi-step, it is multimedia, and it transcends his entire organization, from the person who answers the phone to the person who sells to the person who delivers. They all know that Gardner's has a couple of goals. Number one, they want the customer to have the best experience they could possibly have anywhere. They want them to wake up happy and pain-free, and anything that they can do to help them wake up more happy and pain-free, they want to do it. And they want to attract like customers who enjoy the experience at Gardner's. And so I just had to say that, Jeff. I'm sorry. I hogging the show.
No, it's fine. I want to be respectful of your show and be certain that I'm delivering value for all that hear. But yes, we do all of those things. Even the book that Chris shared, the Sleep Better book, which again is a principle of helping before selling. We mail that book out. I walked into the office today. There's a few of them packaged up, ready to go out today. We believe in help before you sell. I mean, the company that owns Mattress Retailer Toolkit is called Infotail. Infotail is a trademark term for the premise of helping before selling, information first marketing through the front door of a retail establishment. And then with Toolkit, we updated and with technology and the tools that are available today, we created what we got on screen here, the Sleep Better Pocket Guide series. We can give all of our members in Mattress Retailer Toolkit digital bookshelf to promote and help before they sell, right out of the gate, right on signing up, which is a tremendous evolution from what we did before to help the industry. But we believe in this, and we've shown a path that it works. And so, Pete, thank you for all your accolades on what we do just with referrals. And that's the kind of stuff I share inside of the member trainings is it all comes down the pike, and we will always share what's making us successful, because I want others to be successful. Because again, it goes back to the purpose of helping people wake up happy, whether that's in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or Lancaster, California, and all points in between. Back to the young man with the car accident. That's the kind of thing, like our sleep quiz. We had that up on the screen briefly, but that's another help before you sell kind of thing. And that's really cool because that's software. It's fairly easy to replicate. You can put that out, digital media. There's great people in our industry like Elizabeth Cook who can help you understand how to get that out there in digital media, whether that's Facebook or Instagram or wherever. But it's a really cool software that goes through the thought of what is better sleep? What am I doing that's affecting my sleep? And we give you that score right away. No opt-in, no name, no email. You just get the score. But to go back to my theme of let's make a 5-year, a 10-year, a 15-year decision. Let's do things that support the longevity that we're aspiring to have. Something like this ought to exist in your business because you're going to list build as time goes along. And the total throughput on that quiz is we get people to get the book, which gets them the free custom made pillow here in the store. And for some, that might be a difficult thing to wrap their head around, giving away product. But when you have a basis of experience and sales conversions at higher dollars because they went through your funnel, you can rely on it and trust in it, and you get to help more people.
Chris, can you pull Marnie's comment up? Marnie's a new store.
Oh, thank you, Marnie.
And the Marne Kirby says the pocket guides are amazing. And thank you very much, Marnie, for being here. And, one of the things that I love about our industry is we're an industry with a heart. Are there a few bad apples here and there? Yeah. But for the most part, pretty good group of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the things that I love about it. And one of the things that Marnie said to me after we got off one of our 2-hour-long discussions, after she had made a decision to leave prior employment and go out on her own, is, everybody is so nice. Said, yeah, we're a small industry and we really do need to help each other and be supportive and additive to each other. So one of the things, Jeff, that I try to do every episode, I try to give store owners some actionable ideas and some red meat. And I tried to give RSAs something. And I also tried to give our sales reps something. So this will be a fun question for you.
Yep.
And by the way, just because we're both wearing black collared shirts does not mean that I sent a memo to Jeff or Jeff sent a memo to me. We actually did this on our own, people.
Well, black polos are pretty much all I wear. So.
All right.
So you're just catching up with me.
I copied Jeff. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. So here's the question, Jeff. What's your number one pet peeve about reps? Number one pet peeve, things that reps do that piss you off or things that they don't do that piss you off.
We're going into a Festivus moment. I got a lot of problems with you people and you're about to hear it. No. I think sales reps, admittedly, I did this first in my career, and it was Keith Merriweather at Hillsdale Furniture that taught me to kind of slow my roll. He said, walk your retailers' floors. Just, you're out in the road, it's very unlikely with the line I sold at the time, Hillsdale, when I was on the road, that you're going to go in cold and sell this line. You're going to have to walk your retailer's floor. You're going to have to understand where our products fit. You're going to understand if our products are something they even care about, that they even want to grow with. Really, really present the plan of, I've walked your floor. I've seen where you're winning. I've seen areas where it doesn't seem like you have focus. And I see areas where it seems like you can improve. And that's from me speaking to your team on the floor It's from me observing conversations. It's from me being out in other stores. I'm seeing your competitors win here, and you're choosing to either not focus, or you're struggling. And, he kind of gave me that walkthrough. And really it's what today in a way is our sleep assessment process in the store. It's, let's have a conversation to see if our products fit your needs. And if they do, great, we'll do business. And if they don't, well, then let's just shake hands and I'll refer you to somebody else that can help. So for reps, I would say walk your retailer's floor, understand what's important to them and what's not. We used to focus on we had headboards here. We had one supplier that did headboards. They struggled. We got out of headboards. I don't want to have any conversation. If I never have to have a conversation about headboards again in the future, I'm happy, because it's just not our focus here. And I'm willing to let those dollars go because we're so laser focused on what we do well. So that's what I would say for reps.
I've got some bad news for you. I was just on the phone with Larry Sirocco before I got in. He's got a great headboard line.
I know he does.
He's really anxious to show it to you. I have a feeling you're going to have headboards on your floor.
Yep. Well, Larry's one of those great reps too, who does that. He understands. He'll always present, but he'll present in a way where he feels you can win. And so he's a great one for that.
He is. Same question. If you could, Jeff hates headboards so much his bed is just on an adjustable at home.
Not quite true, but closer than not, Stu. It's on an adjustable bed frame, and I have an upholstered headboard that's wide enough where it just is sandwiched between the wall and the bed base. It's not even attached.
Wow. Okay. So pretty close. Guy Danes has a question. What % of sales do you invest in marketing and promotional activities? Put your seatbelt on, Guy.
Yeah,
We're about to go for a ride.
Yeah, great question, and one that people should really think about, because marketing isn't the problem. With marketing is actually easier. It's a math problem. Once you understand your profit margins and the margins you need to operate a business, you can then carve out a percentage of those sales to advertise, promote, and create new marketing materials and messages. And the person who has the best margin can almost always win the marketing battle because they got the most money to spend. I'm very comfortable at 10% here in the business because of our efforts to lean into our customer list, build our customer list, communicate with our customer list across multiple mediums. So email, direct mail, phone, text. Our podcast show is a way to communicate with our customers. Our number is a lot lower than that 10% overall. But when we're starting something new, we'll go as high as 20% if we need to pioneer it and figure it out. And that's what I think a lot of people miss. That they miss that they just can't go in and say, well, I'm going to throw my average 5% of sales to this. If you're really starting something, you're excited about it, you got to lean into it and kind of create the category. But 10% is a very good number. It's a very safe number in our industry. That's probably never going to bankrupt the company. But again, I think the question to expand on that from Guy is, what am I doing to level up my experience, to command more margin, push the price ceiling higher so I can spend more and outwin my competitors?
100%. How much can I invest if blah, 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 if XYZ, if ABC, and play with that. And one of the things I was thinking about on my walk today was I was thinking about Disney. And the first time I heard Dan Kennedy talking about Disney and price flexibility, and I was calling BS. And it's true. There is more price flexibility on products than people believe. And it's only available to those retailers who do something special in their customer experience.
Yep.
If you're doing something special in your customer experience that they want to be part of your store, part of that experience, they enjoy that. They brag to their friends about it. They refer their friends. That's when you can really invest more money in advertising, more money in your marketing efforts, and still be very profitable. But you've
Yep.
got to deliver a superior customer experience. And I want to speak to those who are on the show, who listen to the show, the sales pros who work the retail floor.
Mhm.
What would your advice be to a sales pro who wants to up his or her game?
Yeah, I mean, very topical for the moment we're in, the time we're in, and economy we're in. Go out and make your own rain. There's this little thing called Facebook that you're spending some time on, likely on your phone while you're in between ups. Get into community groups. Start posting value-added information. If you don't know what to type or write, you can go to ChatGPT. That's an app on your phone as well, and you can ask, what do people not understand about sleep? And you can start posting value-added information about that. Case in point, if you were to be in my town, you could use that car accident example and say, hey, moms and dads, we're really happy that this young man is safe and okay, but it's not normal that teenagers are falling asleep in the afternoon. And so if you got a teenager doing this, make sure they do this, and this at night to maximize their sleep. Get the cell phone out of the bedroom. Do not be on the bedroom. Get them off of screens at least a half hour before they go to bed, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, but
Yeah.
Look, if you create these great habits, you'll sleep better, you'll feel better, and there won't be accidents, there won't be issues, etc. But RSAs, retailers, their bosses, their store owners, managers are working hard, but they can lift too. And Facebook's really great because it's you can actually do your own ads. I mean, I see this happening. Raymore and Flanagan has a number of RSAs doing this in my Facebook feed. I see it where they are promoting themselves as the local expert, helping out with furniture and mattress choices in their towns. And I applaud it. I think it's great.
Is my blog still up? It's not a trick question. Jeff?
Are you to me for your website? Yeah, it's still up. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, PetePrimeau.com.
So anybody out there listening that you want an article that is aimed directly towards your sales pros, go to PetePrimeau.com. It's your sales business. This is my heartfelt advice to any sales pro who wants to get better. Sometimes offering something that somebody else wrote gives it a little bit more weight, even though it's the same thing you told them 100 times. But check that article out and check it out quickly because it may not be up much longer. We're in the middle of a revamp on my website and very excited to show you what we have in the near future. Very excited. So, Jeff, what I always do with my show is I always ask one question towards the end of the show. And so I'm going to ask you this. Was there a question that you wish I would have asked you today that I didn't ask you?
Good question. You kind of stumped me there. I'm usually not at a loss for words.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
Ding.
I guess the question that I would say or would be happy to answer is where does our industry or where should our industry look for growth as business owners, as RSAs, as reps? If you think about doctors and lawyers, even realtors have continuing education.
Jeff, let me ask you the question. Where do we go from here?
Exactly. Yeah. I that's a question that I have of our industry. I often see the same folks get recycled around, and I'm sure they add value, and I'm sure they're pros all in their own right. I see RSAs move to move. I see reps move factory to factory. But where is the leveling up? Where do we get our inspiration, our education, our what's that learning path? What's that path for growth? Where does that come from? I see, like I know the Dream Camp thing's going on with Mark Kinsley this week. I think that's great. But where does that come from? And should we as an industry be committed to that kind of growth? If realtors have to be committed to continuing education every year, chiropractors, doctors, dietitians, nutritionists, fitness coaches, they all do what we do. They're all part of that three-legged stool of a life well lived. Where's our continuing ed to level up the experience and the impact we create for our customers? I think that's one of those questions we ought to be asking of ourselves.
So we kind of gave a partial answer to it earlier. So number one, stop gazing at our navels and telling ourselves how wonderful we are. Get out of the industry. Get out. Me and you both went to Dan Kennedy's Markin Super Conference for a couple of different reasons, but one overwhelming reason. We wanted to be able to help our dealers and your store to market more effectively to customers and to create a better customer experience in the store. So one of the things that I see that we do in our industry is we're incestuous. We pass on knowledge that was half-baked as truth. I got an 11-year pro veteran salesperson, and I had to undo everything he learned about latex because it was all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Who a 40-year pro taught him and swore. And when I confronted the mentor, he shrugged at me. He said, "It's just what I learned." And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I really believe with everything in me, Jeff, that we need to restore true curiosity, true questioning. Don't just accept the answer. Ask those questions behind there and push until you get the right answers. I think we have to go outside of our industry, Jeff.
Yep.
And I think that has been the one thing I've consistently watched you do. You go outside, you are networked deep into other industries, and you pull things out of these other industries, and everybody's like, well, it's actually not new, but they've been doing it over there for 50 years, and you dummies keep selling mattresses the same way. And I love our industry. I've been doing this for 43 years. I want us to grow. I want us to get better. So the question that you asked me to ask you that I'm answering. the irony.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of what you're talking about and sharing, and I feel a lot can agree with, comes from the need, like larger chain stores. I don't begrudge their success, but at the same time, let's not let the other channels in our industry be led around by what larger chain stores or national stores or club stores have to do. They have to do what they do because of the animal they are. They have to find a certain sales process that they can affect, manage, and measure. But that doesn't mean it's for everybody. I often say you can't, like local independent business, whether you're selling mattresses or motorcycles or whatever, you can't go do what Coca-Cola does because they got 150 years ahead of you, decades of Wall Street money. Their brand is long cemented. Your brand at this level today is still made one sale at a time. And your brand becomes what your customers say, which goes back to why you've got to have people raving about the experience. That builds your brand.
Yep.
And so those things we lament about, the notion that two-sided beds don't exist. That gets said in some stores, which just is not true. They don't exist in your store, but they exist out there. You know, oh, latex isn't that comfortable. Latex is hot. Latex is whatever. Well, those things are being said because they're being trained, because those things don't exist on those floors. It doesn't make it true. I think a key success for anybody listening to this, whether you're in this industry, not in this industry, whether you're an owner, a RSA, whether you're a factory person, somebody who supports our industry, is you got to ask bigger and better questions each and every day. Start your day with a really great question. And ultimately, if you're in the seat, the driver's seat of making decisions for people, organization, your business, you need to focus your time on getting to just making good choices each and every day. And then for the half the day, and then for an hour, and then every minute of your existence is, I am making good choices pursuant to this 5-year, this 10-year plan.
Jeff, they ran us out of time. Anybody who hasn't bought this book, go to Amazon right now. The Space for Leadership, Lessons for Who You Can Be Regardless of Who You Were, by none other than Jeff Giagnocavo. How should people get a hold of you?
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're outside the industry, go to thejeffg.com. We talked about a lot of things, touch on some things that I do in this industry and not. That's kind of my hub. Whatever tickled your fancy, click that button. We'll connect in some form or fashion. If you're in this industry, if I may, Pete, I'm just going to make a shameless plug, if I may.
You may.
Everything that we talked about our industry, about experience, about marketing, advertising, pricing, working with customers. We touched a little bit on customer issues, helping you make more money because you can help others. Marne is already doing it with her digital bookshelf. Look, that's in Mattress Retailer Toolkit, and I'd love for you to join us. It's the place to come. Boost your tickets and lock arms with people who are interested in growth. Lock arms with people that are questioning, where do I go? What should I be doing? As opposed to, I know I've been told this, so I'm just going to go do that. They're open, they're vulnerable. They post dialogue in our platform, which is a private platform where we ask questions. There's been great interaction so far, great questions being asked. Me and my team moderates it. And I think it's the best value in this industry. It's $97 a month.
Wow.
No commitment, no contract. Come and go as you please. Our goal is to make you stay. I think it's the most honest way to earn your money is I got to earn it month over month. If I have a dud month, you've got a right to leave. I'm not going to give you a dud month. And everything that we do within Mattress Retailer Toolkit is a part and parcel of the things that we talked about here. And it goes back to my point of make decisions for 5 years, 10 years down the road. I can't drop everything I know in your lap all at one time, and you wouldn't be able to digest it all at one time. So we intentionally think about what makes sense to drop out, give to you. And, as topical things come along, we share them in between our live trainings. As a show of gratitude and gift to our members, I made a reel that they can all use for their digital bookshelves. That wasn't planned. I just did it. If you think for a second, my thoughts on experience are going to disappear outside of my 4 retail walls and not go into Mattress Retailer Toolkit, you're mistaken. We are going to delight you and surprise you within Mattress Retailer Toolkit. And so I'd love for you to go. You can join us right there on the page. It's $97 a month. We're open. Our next training is Friday, May 17th.
That is awesome. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that a bunch of my retailers are in your group, which makes me happy because I know they're going to be selling more stuff and they're going to have more fun doing it. And I believe that that's the whole key to success. You have to have fun. And when you're having fun, people are attracted to you. And so I'm going to say this, have fun and sell a million. Jeff, thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you, Pete.
Go forth and sell a million.
I will.